Yo, what's going on, guys? Today we're going to go over the 7 things I wish I knew before starting playing the game right from scratch. The 7 things that I think were most important that I found out as I played. If I had only known them at the start of my game, I would have been way better off and had way more time to do things, make money, find ships, and just move forward in general. Alright guys, let's jump in and go over these 7 things. Number 1, first thing being, before you even play the game, it's choosing which game mode is best for you. You have a couple options. You have normal, survival, permadeath, creative. Creative is just freely explore, you don't have to worry about anything and just have fun. Permadeath is like your hardcores of hardcores where as soon as you die, that's it, you need to restart. Now, between normal and survival, this is where I wish I had known a little more. Normal, fauna, and sentinel threat level is on default, so they're just going to be normal. If you go to an aggressive planet, they're going to be aggressive. If not, they're not really going to pay that much attention to you. The death, when you die, your inventory is all retrievable. If your starship gets destroyed, that inventory is also retrievable. Costs are default, resources are default, and inventory stack size for your regular slots in your exosuit, you can hold 4,999, and in the exosuit cargo, you can hold 9,999. This is where I wish I had known a little more, because on survival, fauna and sentinel threat level are more aggressive and they pay more attention to you. Not the biggest deal. Death, your inventory is lost, so any materials, maybe maps, rare items, they're all going to be gone when you respawn. Your tech can also break, and I've also had tech disappear completely, and I've had to go out and rebuy it. When your starship gets destroyed, it crashes on the planet, so you're gonna have to fix it, and your inventory is lost as well. Costs for materials when you're buying them from other traders in the space stations, it's going to be increased, and your resources gathered are going to be decreased. Inventory stack size. Your exosuit and regular inventory can only hold 250 per stack. In your cargo of the exosuit, it can hold 500. So it's kind of a big difference, especially when you're mining materials or you're trying to do a crazy build. Can't hold that many materials, so it's going back and forth constantly. Having all the slots in your exosuit is vital in your cargo slot, and having a hauler that you can throw all your materials in and keep it close by. So just some things to think about before you start. Alright guys, the second thing I wish I knew is the Anomaly Blueprints. Now, once you have the anomaly found and you've visited it the first time, you can then spawn it in any galaxy that you go to. Even with, if there's no space station, anything, you can always spawn the anomaly. And the biggest thing is your construction-based computer only gets you so many blueprints, construction blueprints, but when you come to the anomaly, you go to the very back where all the vendors are, there are actually additional blueprints you can get for building. Let's head there right now. Alright, so once you get to the back here, you're going to want to go to the left side. You're going to want to come to this construction research station. Come in here, and you can see you have large prefabs, small prefabs, technology, transport. You can get your exo stuff, exo bays. You have deep water construction. You can get decals for your buildings. Decorative modules, lights, and then these industrials. Now these are what we want, and we want to start putting our salvage data towards. You got your agricultural, and then again your wood, metal, and concrete. I would always come here first before doing the base, unless you're just trying to unlock like maybe all the concretes or all the metals. You can do that right from your base, but then you have these primitive shapes that'll help bring your base to life. Storage units, very helpful. And again, they're large prefabs. So always come here once you get the anomaly, get the blueprints that you really want. Alright, so once you're in the anomaly, you're going to want to come to the construction research station. Go to the industrial tab. You're going to want to unlock the biofuel reactor, then the solar panel, and then the electromagnetic generator. I also recommend getting the electrical cloaking unit, as it'll hide all the wires, so when you're running wires from your generators to your base, and then maybe even your mineral extractors, all the wires are hidden, you're not going to see them. Just cleans up your base a little bit. Once you have those, you want to come to the multi-tool research. I'll talk to him, go to the research upgrades, then you're going to want the survey device. So you're going to have to unlock the waveform recycler and then the survey device. But once you have the survey device, you've built it and you've installed it, you can then find your deposits for the electromagnetic generators. All right, again, why the anomaly is so important. The fourth thing I wish I had known more about was farming plants and minerals. Again, you're going to need blueprints for these. You're going to want to come here. I would recommend getting the biodome for your plants. Also, the electromagnetic generators are phenomenal. Again, going back to number 3 there, you're going to want the electromagnetic generator. Sometimes it's not going to be viable for where your base is, but if it's there and you can use it, it's just going to save you so many resources and time. But then you're going to want the mineral extractor and the supply depot and the supply pipe. Once you have these 3, you can then start making some serious money. For your plants, I would recommend you're going to want the star bramble and the solar vine, and then I would get the big planter. I wouldn't worry too much about these, but the big planter, the star bramble, and the solar vine. I try to use the biodomes more than the planters, because you can walk up to the computers inside and instantly harvest all your crops. Alright, so the reason I recommend getting the farm, the plant blueprints and the mineral extractors and supply depots. One, the farm can be started early on. You don't need a whole lot, where as the mineral extractors, you're gonna need multiple blueprints to just supply your power, batteries and solar panels if you're going that route, or the electromagnetic generators, which I believe are 10 salvaged data to get the blueprints, whereas you only need a few to get the biodomes, a couple of the walkways, and then the actual blueprints to make the plants. But if you come here, you can literally go here, harvest all plants. It's going to harvest everything in this biodome. And with these, you can then plant multiples. Sure, it takes a lot of glass to build these, but again, like, you can just walk in, harvest, boom, done, harvest, 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 and then you'll have all these plants. And once you know the blueprints for crafting, you can come here and craft the polyfiber and the heat capacitors, which then allow you to craft the circuit boards. And I believe those are the first things your scientist teaches you in the base, your base, like scientist terminal. So though I would get those started, you can always build a storage container and start racking up the stacks in there. And then when you do have the blueprints, you can then just come here and craft a whole bunch. And then again, you're making almost $1 million a piece for one circuit board. Does take a lot of plants to build these, but once you do, and once you have a farm going, you'll be making money in no time, and a lot of money. All right, guys, just to show you one of my mineral farms here. This is for activated indium. You can see here I have all my mineral extractors, and then I also have all my supply depots, and then in connecting and sending the minerals to the supply depots are the supply pipes, which are in between here, and then also in between all the extractors, and then again one supply pipe going to one of the supply depots to send all the minerals to here. If you go over to the other side of my base, I was lucky enough to find an electromagnetic hotspot and was able to power my base and my extractors using this and not solar panels, where in some of the other cases I've had to use solar panels because the hotspot for the electromagnetic field is just too far. Tip number 5 is going to be always put down either the save beacon or save point on your base and save periodically. You can always do the auto saves hopping in and out of your starship, but honestly it takes 1 dihydrogen jelly and 2 metal plating, which is not a lot of resources. You can drop this outside your base, inside your base, and then every time you do something crazy, you harvest materials, build something, you can come here, save, and now you've saved and you are good to go and you will not lose your game. I've done it multiple times where I've died and then it's auto saved me, but my last backup save was so long ago that it wasn't even worth. I just died and started how to get my materials back and stuff like that, since I'm playing on survival. So yeah, always do that. Again, if you don't have a save point or a save beacon, you can always come to your ship, quick, pop out, and it's going to do an auto save for you. So that's also another way to save, but please put down a save beacon, put down a save point, and save the game. Tip number 6 is slots. Worrying about how many slots are in your ship, exosuit, exotechnology, cargo, and even your multi-tool slots. The multi-tool, you just kind of got to get lucky and get an A class, and that has all the slots unlocked. But for your exosuit, same with the ship, you kind of just got to get lucky and find a good ship. But for your exosuit to unlock all the slots, I still haven't unlocked all mine yet, but to get all the slots, it's actually a little easier than what you may think. So first, you go to a new galaxy. If there's a space station, always go to it. You can get your slot, you get a slot upgrade there. You can find drop pods on planets which have exosuit upgrade slots available, and you can also, every time you spawn in an anomaly, you get a free upgrade slot every time you bring it to a new galaxy. So no matter where you go, let's travel to a new spot here, someplace I've never been. Again, if you have the economy scanner and it doesn't have a rating, there's not going to be a space station there, but you can still bring, let's go here. So it's got no space station. Let's go here. We're going to spawn the anomaly and be able to get our free upgrade suit. If it does have a space station, that just means you get 2 upgrade slots per galaxy. We're in this new one. I'll go to the anomaly. I'm going to spawn it in. Come here. Get inside. Alright, so again, we're going to want to come to this back station here. You're going to see the little exosuit upgrade, and look at this. We get an exosuit upgrade, and now you can either choose to put it in your general slot or your cargo. I'm almost done my general, so I'm just going to upgrade it. Boom, we now have another slot in our exosuit. Tip number 7, last but definitely not least, and I wish I had known this before, when you can build the medium or large refiners, you can combine oxygen with certain minerals to produce more of something else. So if we wanted to do cobalt and make ionized cobalt, it's going to take 2 regular cobalt to produce 1 ionized cobalt. But if we throw oxygen with it, we're now getting a 2 to 5. So for every 2 cobalt and 2 oxygen, we're producing 5 ionized cobalt, which is going to allow you to produce so much cobalt or ionized cobalt, or you can break down the ionized cobalt to get more just regular cobalt. Another one you can use is platinum to produce magnetized ferrite to 1 to 10. All you have to do is go up into space with your ship and start shooting down some asteroids and getting some platinum, and next thing you know, you've got all the magnetized ferrite. You don't have to wait 10 minutes for a stack of 125 breaking down regular ferrite to pure ferrite, and then pure ferrite to magnetized ferrite. Another one we can use is carbon, and we get again 2 to 5 ratio to make condensed carbon. Super helpful. Another good resource, not with oxygen, just another good resource in general, is the activated minerals. So activated copper, activated emerald, activated cadmium, and activated indium will break down in a 1 to 3 ratio to chromatic metal. So if you can find a deposit, or you can start mining deposits with mineral extractors, you literally have an unlimited source of chromatic metal now. And you can start breaking that down. A stack of 250 is going to give me almost 1,000 chromatic metal. So also really nice to know, and very handy once you start getting your mineral farms up and running. Bonus tip is using the the cuboid rooms. You can actually get the solar panels and batteries to snap into the grids of the floor. It sends power from the solar panel to the batteries, and then all you have to do is put a power line from the actual side of the cuboid room right here. This is on the outside of the cuboid room. Could have put it over here, but I wanted it off this one because it was closer, and that is now powering everything. I can also send a wire, which I have, from my teleporter off the edge of the cuboid room, and now everything's fine. And then I just placed my supply depots on top of that. But it's nice to know the solar panels work. I don't know what this is up here, but it's supplying them with light, getting all the power, powering my batteries, storing the power, and sending them to my mineral extractors. So that is awesome. Makes it cleaner, easy to organize. And if you really wanted to, you could probably hide this underground by just building one room and then putting one below it and just building it all underground, and then it's all hidden out of the way. Once you have it set up and you're getting enough power, you just forget it and continue making your money and building sweet bases. Alright guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, if the tips helped you, learn something new, hit that thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button. If you have any questions or just want to come hang out, go to my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/x_cakes. Come stop by and say hey. And guys, without further ado, I will see you guys in the next one. Deuces.